The session will be hosted by Doreen. She's a certified professional coach, a certified life coach, and author of the book, If I Knew Then What I Knew Now, Our Quest for Quality of Life. Doreen is the founder of the Time to Play Foundation, a not-for-profit organization with the mission and purpose to enrich the lives of others. Please give a warm welcome.
So thank you everybody for coming. I'm really excited to be here and for this opportunity to share some ideas that you could take home with you today, which that's one of the things in a conference. A lot of times you go to conferences and you listen and you learn something and then you go back and you forget it. But this is stuff that we're going to be able to implement every day in our life. And my name is Doreen Guma. I am a board-certified healthcare executive. I've worked in healthcare since 1987 and since 2001 in skilled nursing. A lot of times people at end of life, they don't have any more chances, but the good news is every single day we have a chance to pre-invent our life. So my background's in quality improvement, and I look for ways to make things better. And over the years, I've seen the increase in sick and sad. You guys agree with me? You've seen more? Right. So I know that there's a better way. And so I think we found it. Are you ready? It's up to us to take our life back. Okay, so let's put that into perspective. And before we start, just give yourselves a hand for being here today. I appreciate, you know what, it is up to us to make our life better. So, here we're focusing on solutions. We're focusing on the positive and the possibilities. And my goal today is to help make you think. So let's look at this. The average life expectancy of the people in the United States. 81 years old for female, 76 for men, 78.5 is the average. This is a 2012 study from the Center of Disease Control. I know that we all think we're going to be here forever, but when we look at our life right now, and we look at our age right now, and then we look at this, what do we want to still achieve in our life? And again, the concept of pre-inventing your life is such a powerful tool. Not reinventing and reinvention, but pre-invent. Today, later, tomorrow, pre-invent. So many people are hanging on by their fingernails. Over the course of the time I've been working on this, and everything we have in our foundation is evidence research-based, I have been hearing people, I'm hanging on by my fingernails, I'm just surviving, I'm just existing. Let's look at the statistic again. Do we want to survive and exist, or do we want to love our life? And that's the concept behind Time to Play. So this is how it started. My husband Jim's in the back. That's my mom, by the way, in the front. It's Faye. And Stacy in the green shirt right here is on our board of directors of the foundation. And so we, you know how hard it is when you have kids and you have obligations to take off a couple of days. We went to a motorcycle rally in Lake George called Americade, and this is about 5 years ago. And there were about 30,000 people riding motorcycles there at this rally this time. And I started looking around, and the people that were there were like 80. I'm not kidding. And we were like the youngest people there. And we're in our late 40s, 50s at this point. And that's when I start to say, oh my gosh, when is it time for us to enjoy life? When is it time for us to play? And every day should be a day of play. It shouldn't be a day of surviving or existing, but it should be like everything we do should be play every day, right? So that's how the Time to Play philosophy was born. To be happy, healthy, have money, work-life balance, that's the Time to Play philosophy. And pre-invent your life was even a little bit more. And I'm telling you this so you have a background, because it's not like planting a daffodil. We know what a daffodil is, we know what dirt is, but nobody's ever heard of pre-invent your life. It's just a new concept, so I'm giving you a little bit extra background. So as I said, my background's in the quality improvement, okay, for many years. And I learned that the self-help industry, as I'm digging and digging, went from $2.48 billion in the year of 2001 to $11 billion in the year of 2013. So they keep us prisoner, they keep us coming back, but we're not getting better. right? And then I realized how that our self-help industry is really recovery and reinvention. Like, we crash and burn and then they try to fix us, right? And we wrote this book. I have 2 copies that we'll somehow figure out how to raffle up. But if I knew then what I know now, and in this book, although it's a hugely powerful book, it's still reactive. It follows the time to play philosophy, happy, healthy, have money, work-life balance. And it talks about stories of people in their 50s who are still trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up, or after they had suicidal ideation, or after divorce. And then I'm realizing, well, that's probably not the best idea. What if we shifted that and pre-invent our life? And so the hope is to eliminate the adoption of self-destructive behavior instead of unlearning our undesired learned behavior. So this is just like, you know, we wallow in despair. We have fear, we have regrets, we have guilt. This is a thing I found on Facebook the other day that one of our dear friends posted. You don't get over an addiction by stopping using. You recover by creating a new life where it's easier to not use. If you don't create a new life, then all the factors that brought you to your addiction will catch up with you again. So this is just perpetuating. Do you understand? Like, we're getting into this despair and this self-destructive behavior. We pick up these things, whether it's overeating or it's depression or learned behaviors. And we have to unlearn this. So let's pre-invent. And this was another thing that somebody posted the other day. We have a wonderful, very inspirational group page, timetoplay.com. It's a public group. Please look us up on Facebook. It's so nice every day. But there was a woman that posted, it may not be tomorrow, but I'm going in the right direction. I have to be more optimistic. Change is hard when you always see the glass half empty. And again, think about it. This is how we think sometimes. This is that reactive nature. So this morning, we heard about a woman who talked about how much mistakes we made, right? And what we learned from our mistakes. But what if we have good life skills and coping skills so maybe we could circumvent some of the outcomes that are maybe negative? I did more research. The U-bend of happiness. Google it. It'll blow your mind. So basically, try this thing. Around 15 to 18 years old, we start to not be pleased with our life until we're 50. And then we go back up. Now, let's put into perspective, right? And at 50 years old, it's a discussion that the people have learned how to react better, right? So that's why they're going back up. But in the meantime, we look at our 78-year life expectancy, and we look at being 18 to 50 years old, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's like such a waste of good time, right? So even if this was a straight line, it would be better than this, in my opinion. Who's with me on that? So it dawned on me one day, who asks us what we need so we can love our life? Anybody ever ask us, or do they just tell you? Do they just tell you what you need, right? So I had this idea to do a survey. It took me like 3 years to do the research. And the idea behind the survey was, I've come up with this term that I coined, forever counseling, okay? So we get forever counseling after we develop an undesirable behavior, or after a negative life experience, or after frustration or depression or worse. And we act in a reactive manner instead of a proactive manner. And again, what if we pre-invent and prevent negative outcomes in the first place? So in my book, I wrote, history will repeat itself if we let it, like 1 billion times. And the goal here is to stop that from happening. So we did a query of high school students, 9th through 12th grade. And again, I told you everything we do here is evidence research-based. It took me years to research. I had like 600 questions that I came up with, pulling from the most smart and the most brightest people in positive thinking and quality of life thinking. And I worked with the superintendent of a school on Long Island, and I worked with the director of pupil personnel services from Massachusetts, and we got it to 40 questions out of like 600. And We had 727 students out of 1,131 respond, which was a statistically significant sample and representative of the whole. I wanted to ask kindergarteners, but I knew they wouldn't have the ability to kind of give me their feedback. So we asked them to reflect on their life experience as of right now. In order to have an enjoyable life experience, I believe it is important to learn how to. And the responses blew my mind, I have to tell you. Definitely didn't expect what we found. The first 91% almost of the students, how to be happy as myself. Now think about that. And think about ourselves. Are we happy as ourselves? This is all on the website, by the way. You can read the whole survey. Just log in, there's a PREinvent Your Life, click it. There's articles, there's all sorts of stuff about this particular finding. Be happy as myself. If you're happy as yourself, are you going to do drugs to dull your pain in your life experience? Are you going to do self-destructive behavior and cutting to alleviate your pain? Are you going to try to commit suicide? Do you know that suicide is the second leading cause of death in our 18 to 24-year-old population? If you're happy with yourself, are you going to do it? Or are you going to love yourself and protect yourself? So this like blew my mind. I never ever thought like how to make friends, you know, stuff like that. Never ever thought that. But think of the lesson that we learned here and what we need to know how to be happy as myself. So we'll just go down. Be myself, learn from my mistakes. If we have good, positive coping skills, hopefully our mistakes will be a lot less. And this is all part of the trademark program of the foundation. And anybody, I believe in people helping people, and collaboration equals success. If you have anything that you can offer to help us work on this, and background and experience, contact me. We're all in this together. Make myself happy in a healthy way. Well, we wouldn't be making a bad choice of how to react if we love ourselves. So think of that. Recognize my potential, which we would be doing if we were happy as ourselves. Get more sleep. We're all plugged in. Nobody sleeps in here. Keep going when you want to give up. Good skills again. Be happy as myself. Develop confidence. Saying, no, I am valuable, and make positive change. It all stems from being happy as myself. So think about the U-bend and how we would be able to have better experience. If the older people learn at 50 how to start to be happy, because honestly, I'm 50. I really don't give a crap anymore about what anybody thinks, right? Do we think that way? I don't care what they think anymore. I should have learned this when I was 10 or 5. So there's so much wisdom in the past. There's so many good books I've read, tons and tons of things from like 1700s and 1800s. People have already said it, but Lucille Ball said, love yourself first, and everything else falls in line. And it's so true. So we're going to do an activity. We're going to have a yard sale. Did everybody get a yard sale paper? If you didn't get a yard sale paper, just raise your hand. Okay? So we're going to look at a root cause. I don't know if everybody knows what root cause is, but it's a why. So you keep asking why, until you get to what do we do at a yard sale? We get rid of crap, right? Okay. So what's holding us back? What's keeping us stuck? What makes us unhappy? What makes us frustrated? Put it on your yard sale right now. All right. So we have, let me see what my time is. I think we're done at 45, so I'm pushing because I have like all this stuff I want to share.
So if everyone wants to, if you want to raffle to go maybe they put their name on this paper, we can collect them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay.
We'll do that, absolutely. It's so smart. Yeah, just put your first name on there. And we're not going to read them, but we'll pull one out of the box after because I'll tell you what we're going to do with this piece of paper in a second. You got the boxes, Stace?
Yes.
Okay. So we all know what bothers us a little bit, right? So what is that thing that's holding us back from actually moving forward? Are we scared? Is there a fear? Is there a person? Is there a memory? Is there what we learned? Is it something in us that is keeping us from doing something that's in our heart to do? Because we're all put here for a purpose. I'll just wait one more minute because I don't want to hold this up. And again, I told you guys you take this stuff with you so that, you know, we'll be able to make your life better tomorrow and later. Okay, Stacey, you got the box?
I do.
Great. Okay. So, did everybody finish writing? Or hopefully some of you guys finished writing? Okay. We're going to crumple up the piece of paper and we're going to throw it in the trash. I know some people are still throwing out their papers, but how did this feel to crumple that up? How does this feel? There you go. So, and it's not just that we had like 13 seconds here. We can use this experience and we can look for root cause and we can learn about what is in our belief system. What did we learn what is in our learned behavior? What did we learn along our life about things that may contribute to depression or hopelessness, or about things that contribute to us, instead of us being a victor, we're a victim. And we all play victim. I heard Rosemary's, presentation, and unfortunately, sometimes we allow ourselves to be in that situation. We drive to work and take a Xanax on the way because of the stress that we're under and the pressure of a family or a financial issue. But now we're ready to change and become empowered. So something I've been doing is doing a lot of research on well-being. And the time to play philosophy is well-being. In our society, well-being in the government has been measured by how much money our government has built wealth. About the jobs. They're not looking at our whole people and our well-being in general. So well-being is defined as good or satisfactory condition or existence. And I do believe it is up to us to make our life the best it can be. Remember I said that. So the time to play philosophy again is happy, healthy, have money, work-life balance. And I have been reading a book called Flourish. I just learned about Dr. Seligman, and no, that's not how sometimes other people pronounce his name, but he is a father of positive psychology. He teaches that you can. I started reading his book Flourish, very interesting, but he says that positive psychology says that life satisfaction includes positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning and purpose and accomplishment. And the time to play philosophy is the actual implementation of positive psychology. So we need to look at our life as a whole. What is well-being to you? And dwelling on something that's happened, which also keeps us prisoners. So if it's not something that we can change, it's our choice. If it's not something that you can change, stop. It's our choice. Move forward. Don't keep it active. Don't keep it active. So it's time to pre-invent our life. We don't have to be a victim of circumstances. We can stop and reevaluate our life. And we can change anything today. You could change anything today. Later, tomorrow, we have to choose to change it. It doesn't have to be the way that we are. History doesn't have to repeat itself. It's time to pre-invent our life, and every day and every moment is a new opportunity. So I did actually pull this out, and it's 2 minutes, and I'm going to play it for you because it's amazing. hopefully. There's no sound. Oh, wait, I got it. Hang on. Unmute. Oh, there's still no sound. Oh, goodness. All right, so this girl, since I have no sound at all, this girl was born without legs. Not kidding. And, I'll just fast forward, became a tumbler. Oh, it's not on the screen. Oh, it's on my screen. Okay, never mind then. All right, it was a good effort. All right, oh well. So is this going to screw up now? All right. Anyway, if you guys email me, I'll send you the link to the YouTube. So she wanted to be a gymnast, and she was born without legs, and she became a champion. Amazing story. And that's what I said with that. Does anyone still think that they can't? We don't have to blame anybody for us to not, no, it's not going to work at all. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. I'm so disappointed because it was so good. All right, so we have one more activity. On this paper, and this one you guys keep, we got rid of our garage sale, right? Now we have a goal here. We have wishes and visions, goals, things that we want to do, right? Everybody does. You know, someday, do we ever hear of the somedays? Someday I'm gonna. Today is someday, okay? In the first column, this is like a quality improvement process right here. So in the first column, we have the wishes and visions, goals, something that you desire to accomplish. In the second column, these are options. Could be anything. So let's say you want to become a plumber. You always wanted to be a plumber. How could you be a plumber? Maybe you could go an apprentice. Maybe you could go and follow the rotor truck. You know, around, check them out, watch some videos on YouTube. These are options to get started. Could be anything crazy. Because we can accomplish anything that we would like to accomplish. Just have to kind of put it in a piece of paper sometimes and see that it's really not as hard to break it down into small pieces, right? And the last column is what's the best option for today that you can actually start. So we want to start and do something today. So choose the best one. And if it works, great, keep going. And if it doesn't, you got more options. And if those don't work, you still got more options. And this is something that might be helpful for people. You want to finish school. It took me 20 years to get my master's degree. But I did it. I had options, you know? What is a wish or a vision or a goal or a desire that you have? Look at your options and start. Just choose one small thing and make it happen. So the key after you start is don't give up. So I teach a diabetes prevention class. I'm a New York State Department of Health diabetes prevention counselor. And we do a 16-week program, and there's people, they do pretty well. And one of the ladies in her 60s at least said to me, I've gained weight, I've lost weight. I've gained weight, I've lost weight. How am I going to make it stay this time? What am I going to do? How can I do this for the long haul? I started thinking about this, sustainability. This triangle, as silly as it looks, took me like a month to come up with. So the long haul, sustainability. You have the why. Remember, we went in, we looked at our why, right? What's holding us back for our why? We have motivation and we have persistence. This triangle is really important because first that why, right? If you don't have the way to combat that why, you're never gonna make this sustainable. because something's always going to tell you you're not good enough, you can't do it, but you can. So you have your motivation and you have your persistence. It has to be important enough for you to make it actually stay. So once you start, don't stop. Keep on going. PREinvent. So it's your choice. It is time to enjoy your life. It's time to PREinvent your life. Every day should be a day of play. It's a time to play philosophy. And it's really simple. All we need to do sometimes is take a step back and just stop. Take a step back and look. And I want to thank you for coming. It's been my honor to share, everything here. This is my heart. I've been working on this for 5 years. And so we have some things coming up. There's a fashion show, Be Extraordinary fashion show at the Smith Haven Mall on the 16th of April. It's totally free. Special Olympics athletes are going to be modeling. We have line dancing and music, and it's going to be wicked fun. So 1 to 3 in Center Court of the Smith Haven Mall. Winning at the Game of Life. Hopefully everybody got a flyer. I have some more here at the front. And the event is on May 21st at the Ramada Plaza. We have amazing speakers. And it's also going to be, you're going to leave with a toolkit because we should all win at life and get back to basics. Go to timetoplay.com. That's the foundation's website. Couldn't buy timetoplay.org. Fisher-Price owns it, so we got the .com. And we do have the Facebook Time to Play News you could look for, or timetoplay.com. There's two. There's a public group and there's a page that, there's posts, but the public group everybody could post on and you could share really good things or events or stuff that's coming up. So we have upcoming events. I have a flyer up here. Upcoming events, we have a Empower Half Hour podcast, radio podcast on Mondays at night. It's a Say What You Want to Say, judgment-free, confidential. Tuesdays, the Time to Play Philosophy, Happy, Healthy, Have Money, Work-Life Balance rotates 9:30 in the morning. It's listen on demand anyway. And, no, I'm sorry, that's Wednesday morning. Tuesdays at noon, we have a Business Success podcast. So that we can, instead of people saying, oh, most businesses fail in the first 3 years, and we let history repeat itself. Oh, they went out of business? They were a new business. Most businesses fail in the first 3 years. Who's heard that saying, right? Nauseam, right? So why can't we stop that? So that's the deal. So do you guys have any questions, thoughts? You like the idea? Yes, Mother. It's the Special Olympics fashion show. On the homepage of the website, you can see there's that same flyer and that same flyer exactly as you see them here. So you could click on them and get more information. Anybody else have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Rosemary. Oh, yes. We actually are in Port Jefferson Station. We do have different classes available if you want to give a call. We also, again, people helping people, collaboration equals success. My daughter is going to be 21 next week, my baby, and she runs a safe and sober environment for youth. It's called The Basement, and it's a small space, so we keep it like between 30 and 40-ish. But it's judgment-free, confidential. People come. There's kids that are recovering alcoholics, and they thank us. And my husband and I, we kind of babysit, even though they're big. But it's like 17 and over, and it gives an opportunity for people to just love life and enjoy people's camaraderie. I am looking for a larger space to have this program. We are a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation, and it's really hard to find space, I have to say, but it would be a really nice thing to do. But we are right on 112 in Port Jeff Station. So we do PREinvent Your Life health classes, reduce your risk for cancer, you know, that type of thing. We do life coaching, we do the Empower half hours. So, yes?
Two things. So the basement is a safe and sober environment, like Maureen expressed, but it's a place for young people to express art, open mic, poetry, any type of creativity that, you know, that resonates within themselves, and it's just a safe place that they can freely express it, and that's the beauty of the basement.
And it was all Jackie, my daughter. She said, Mom, there's no place for people to go. You know, if they don't go to a bar, they're in somebody's house doing drugs, you know, and so we created this place for her. And it's really a blessing to have. Yes. All right, just pull one. We're not going to read the crowd. We're just going to read a name.
Carolyn Day.
Carolyn. All right, I want to just sign the book. I'll give it to you in a second. In the book, I always write, it is so important for us to learn what we need to enjoy life and our duty to help others do the same, people helping people. And that's my true belief. It is up to us to help each other. It is up to us to make things better, and especially for our future generations. Kind of feel bad for them, and I'm doing the best I can to help create them. So, thank you.
Testing, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.